This still lays this pot, and we got a picture taken by this pot too. And I guess we just thought that a Barkin Kettle is a Newfoundland tradition. Of course, it's gone out now because we had synthetics, the same as clothes. And we're a Newfoundland traditional band, so we thought it'd be a good name for the band.
As I was walking down the road, I spied a cozy neat abode with a half-door standing up. Am I welcome to come in? Bless you kindly, here I said, when a fair colleague stuck out her head. Bless you kindly, sir, she said, come in and close the half-door. She moved the upper half of the door and sat it down upon the floor. I wondered what she did it for, I couldn't understand her. Then she proceeded to dance a billion upon the door, the click of her heels danced on it from stern to keel. She pleased a Newfoundlander. Says I, fair maid, will you marry me? I won't can't her, but can't you see I'm much too young for the likes of ye? Come back when I am older. When I was taking me leave of the door, she whispered softly in my ear, pray you come again in a year. And this is what I told her: yes, I'll be coming down the road to visit your cozy neat abode with a half to standing up. Am I welcome to come in there? Woo!
In circumstance, I got to play with a group of high school kids and played a couple of rock and roll numbers and a couple of traditional numbers, and Lindsay happened to come along and play bass at that particular night. And after the night of the concert, he asked me if I'd be interested in forming a traditional band. Of course, I said yes, you know, not really confident that anything would come of it. And a few days later, we had another member, and we're on the go, you know.
They came to me in the middle of the night, dragged me out of bed, literally, and dragged me downstairs, and they said, put on the teapot. I didn't know what was going on. I thought they were all mad at me or something, because we had been friends up till this point, you know. And they just asked me to join, and I was completely shocked. I didn't know what to do. I said, well, I already play with a band. What am I going to do? So I just told the other band. I said I had this offer, and they said, very good, you know, if you want to continue your career like that, you know, you might be stagnant with us, and go ahead and do it, and all the best.
First, it was just a sideline with me, because I was playing rock and roll, and was making money doing that. But as I got more and more into the band and practicing and doing some playing, well, I got hooked into the whole traditional music scene, and that's sort of my main line now.
Thank you.
I can always remember music in the family. When my mother sings, she still sings, she always has. It was always music. My grandmother sang, played accordion. And I guess all my aunts and uncles are singers or players.
I suppose the first time I ever heard music was, hearing music was, boy, as an infant, I suppose, because it was always played at my house, you know. My parents were opera lovers, and Broadway musicals and this kind of thing, you know. It was always being played in the house.
First music that I was exposed to was classical music.
The very first time I heard music was probably from my mother, because she'd always sing when she was working in the kitchen.
There was no family influence at all. And as a matter of fact, I only found out a year ago that my grandfather played the fiddle. So that's how much it's lost in our family. It was just gone.
That brings the thoughts back to me of a flower that's bright and fair. Its grace and beauty both combine to brighten up the air. It's like
I didn't always, you know, intend to be involved with traditional music as I am now. It just kind of happened through circumstance, but I always listened like everybody else, I guess every other teenager listened to rock and roll.
I was never exposed to traditional music at an early age, even though my mother was a Newfoundlander. I really only knew the standards such as Squidgy and Ground and Eyes the Bar.
Even when I was growing up, and probably pre-teen or early adolescence, I figured myself that traditional music was for, you know, the older folks sort of thing. But now my ideas have completely changed around.
Traditional music is something very new to me. When I moved to Newfoundland, first I still didn't know what it was, except you know, going out to a club and hearing Ryan's Fancy or something like that, who would play here a lot. And I rather enjoyed it, but I really didn't know anything about it. I didn't know a jig from a reel or anything like that.
When I was 13, I saw Figgy Duff's Christmas show at the Holy Heart of Mary, one of the local schools. And I enjoyed it very much, but it didn't really affect me. It had no impact on me.
When I was 19, I remember I heard the band Figgy Duff one night, and I just loved it. I said, wow, this is it. I really got off on it. And then I wanted to play the fiddle.
A flower, I know it too well. It's the sweet forget-me-not. Oh, she's graceful and she's charming like the lilies in the pond. Time is gliding swiftly by. Of her I am so fond. Oh, the roses and the daisies were blooming round the spot. When we parted, when she whispered, sweet forget-me-not. Oh, when we parted, when she whispered, you'll forget-me-not.
One day I went downtown and I saw a tin whistle on a shelf in a music store and a book next to it, how to, you know, teach yourself how to play or whatever the name of the book was, you know. And so I bought it for my husband, actually, who always wanted to play a musical instrument. I said, well, this would be easy, you know. I already had the bassoon, which I played with the symphony at the time, so I wasn't really interested myself, but I thought I could at least show him how to play after reading the book myself, and maybe teaching myself I could teach him. And he never really had a chance because I loved it so much. He never had an opportunity to play it, really. Thank you.
Newfoundland music is, you know, it's hard to narrow down and say, well, this is Newfoundland music, and this is not, because there's a lot of Irish, Scottish and French influence in Newfoundland, and there's a lot of Irish tunes that have come across the water and stayed in Newfoundland, you know, virtually unchanged, some and some quite changed, you know. But I'd like to see it at least be given a fair chance with the rest of the music, you know.
When I initially started to play this, it wasn't that easy to just pick up the instrument and play. I had to really work at it. I had to really study the tunes. And as I went along, apart from just trying to be technically accurate, I started to get a feeling for the energy that the music had in it. And that's what did it, I guess.
I didn't know anything really about music, but I learned pretty fast out of necessity.
It was a challenge because, first off, I was playing with a group that played in 3/4, 2/4 times. All I played in rock and roll was the 4/4 stuff, and there was no drummer. And it was just a challenge for us to see if I could do it.
You whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day. I said, pretty Polly, can I come to bed with you? I said, pretty Polly, can I come to bed with you? Smiling, she replied, well, yes, you can if you want to. You whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day. Your bloomers are tight, love, and I can't undo them. Your bloomers are tight, love, and I can't undo them. Smiling, she take a knife and run through them with your whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day. Your room it is dark, love, and I cannot see you. Your room it is dark, love, and I cannot see you. Smiling, she replied, turn the light if you want to. With your whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day. Who is that, my love, standing there in the shadows? Who is that, my love, standing there in the shadows? Oh, 'tis me father, she cried, come home from the meadow with your whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day. The night it is out, sir, and I must not linger. The night it is out, sir, and I must not linger. Smiling, he replied, you put a ring on her finger with your whack for the dove, for the darrel o' day.
Once we go outside Newfoundland, we find that people